Hello everyone, welcome back. It's time for another weekly reading update. This week definitely feels like a milestone. Uh, the end of the year is approaching, with November coming to an end and December starting, which also means I finished the Fellowship of the Ring last week, and next week I'll be starting the Two Towers. Like I said, I finished the Fellowship of the Ring by J.R.R. Tolkien as part of a group read for November. Now I won't pretend this was an effortless read. It wasn't, and that's okay, because the more I think about it, the more I realize that effort is part of the design. But it read better than the last time, as I remembered it. The early sections, especially around the Shire, felt cozy and charming, and then you hit that stretch with Tom Bombadil, which is this whimsical wizard who lives outside of time and the narrative urgency. And that part had me sitting there like, am I still in the quest, or is this a fever dream? But looking back, it shows a key contrast. Middle-earth isn't just epic, it's weird, old and alive. And it's not written to just be understood, it's written to be felt. Like a myth that someone keeps retelling until some of the details start to blur. And after Tom Bombadil wants the hobbits actually leave the Shire and start interacting with the bigger world, the tone shifts. Suddenly the road has shadows. The language still lingers on trees and history and prophecy, but it now has purpose. The dread feels intentional, of course. The world building becomes the engine of the story itself. And a massive part of what made this book land for me in the second half was Frodo Baggins. He's this quiet, thoughtful, not a chosen one in the fleshy sense, but chosen because he's gentle and stubborn in the right ways. And you believe that a story like this needs someone like him. Not a warrior, at least not yet, just someone who can carry a burden without it affecting his heart instantly. And there's Aragorn. He's the perfect, don't call me a king yet, but he actually is. He reveals himself slowly, fitting the pacing of the tone of the narrative itself. You don't get authority thrown at you, you get it earned, step by step, like everything Tolkien builds. Now let's talk about the pacing, because this book is famous for being slow. But I don't think it's slow at all. In my opinion, so much has happened in just these 400 pages. Most modern fantasy books, I feel like they need a lot more pages to get to the same point. Most modern fantasy books treat world building like seasoning. Tolkien treats it like soil. It's a world that sticks, that feels prehistorical, even though it never happened. And you leave the final page feeling like you closed the door on a real place. And emotionally, the ending works because it's not triumphant, it's fragile. They succeed in leaving together and not in winning the war. It's relief, not victory. And honestly, I think that restraint is what makes it powerful. So, final verdict: it's dense, immersive, charming, sometimes a bit confusing, but ultimately a story that earns its legacy through its craft and atmosphere. And if you want a world that lives inside your imagination rather than passes through it, this is it. So let's switch continents and storytelling entirely. I made it so far about 50% through The Eyes of the Dragon by Stephen King. And I'm gonna be honest, I am very mixed on this book so far. I'm not frustrated, not disappointed. I'm not sure yet whether I like it. This book is presented like a fairy tale, and King talks to you directly through the narrator, like he's sitting in a rocking chair reading the story aloud, occasionally stopping to add commentary like, anyway, Flag was evil, as you might have guessed, which is charming until sometimes it's a little too charming or too casual, or it's too aware that it's a story. Now compared to the Fellowship, which has this massive mythic framing, Eyes of the Dragon is the polar opposite. It wants to be clear, simple, quick, almost leaning into the style of childhood fairy tales, adventure stories, and bedtime storytelling. And part of me enjoys that. King has a gift for a pull you along narration. He wastes no words. He trusts the momentum. The chapters are short. The villain is crisp. The stakes are understood instantly. And there's no confusion about the rules of the world. And he's not trying to make you feel like a scholar reading lost histories. He wants you to feel like a kid being told a dark but clever campfire tale. And so why am I mixed? Because I don't always know who this book is written for. It feels like younger fantasy, but it has shades of adult darkness. It moves fast, but it also pauses to wink at you mid-scene. The plot is simple, the villain is terrifying, but also a little flamboyant. He enjoys being villainous. And the characters are interesting, but they're not emotional deep yet. And the story structure is clean, but it hasn't grabbed me by the throat the way King sometimes has done before. And so far, it's not a book that overwhelms me. It's a book I'm observing from a polite distance. Mentally, I'm taking notes like, this is charming, this is a little silly, I like Flag the villain, but I also feel like I shouldn't like Flag this much. Anyway, Flag, the villain, is someone I both respect and side-eye. Now Luke Randall Flagg is a fantastic antagonist. You recognize him instantly. He corrupts quietly, he ruins systems, not just lives, and he enjoys being evil. He feels like a chess player who is already 5 moves ahead and is just waiting for everyone else to catch up. He is a dangerous, fun, magnetic villain. Which is part of the problem for me. He might actually be more compelling than the protagonists can imbalance a book if the heroes don't rise to meet him yet. Then there's Peter. I like Peter, he's clever, he's patient, he's resilient, and I respect his escape planning energy. But so far, he is more a player in a fairy tale world than an emotional anchor. Tolkien's characters feel like people who exist inside their world, but King's characters here feel like people who know they exist inside a story. Neither is wrong, they're just very different types of storytelling. So yeah, I'm mixed. The good kind of mixed though, the kind where a book could still win me over in the second half. And it's the kind where I'm not suffering, but I'm also not sprinting toward the finish line. Again, that's fine. I enjoy the storytelling even when I'm not obsessed yet. And it's refreshing to read a fantasy novel that feels more like a traditional tale than a sprawling myth. So yeah, I'm not sure what to think of it yet. So, as for next week I'll be diving into The Two Towers, the sequel to The Fellowship. This is where the Fellowship splits, the scale widens, and the war starts knocking on the front door a lot louder. And I'm honestly really excited for this one, because the Fellowship builds the world and the characters, but The Two Towers actually gets them really going. And I only really remember the big moments from it, so I'm curious about the rest. And if I manage to finish The Eyes of the Dragon, I might also dip my toes into Speaking for the Dead by Orson Scott Card, the sequel to Ender's Game. Now I've heard that Speaker is a widely different kind of sequel. It's less military, more philosophical, there's more about the aliens, and moral weight and stuff like identity, language and cultural collision. Now I'm not scared of dense books, I respect them, so this one I will approach cautiously, but also with a lot of curiosity. So that's it for this update. Let me know what you're reading right now. Definitely like to know. Take care, and I hope to see you again next week.